A number of years ago, I was ministering in a maximum security prison in Washington State. In fact, there were murderers, rapists, child molesters, drug dealers. They were all in this room. And we were doing a Bible study with them on identity. And we asked them this question: when God looks at you, how does he see you? Well, one by one, they would put up their hands, and one prisoner says, God is judging me right now. Or another one says, he is angry with me. Another one would say, how can God love me after all the things that I've done? And one by one, they were speaking so negatively towards how God would see them. And as they were saying these things, I just heard the Father's voice speak inside of my heart and simply said, Steve, I don't hate them. I love them. And I want to show them my kindness. Well, I stood in front of this group and I just said, you know, God doesn't hate you. He loves you. They looked at me with disbelief, but I said, I'm going to show that to you. In his kindness, he's going to heal some of you right now. And in the space of 5 minutes, 14 prisoners were healed of neck conditions, back conditions, shoulder issues, chest conditions. In fact, half that group were healed that day. The following week, the group had grown, and they all gave their life to Christ that following Sunday. And within a year, 269 prisoners had given their lives to Christ, as each week they would see signs, wonders, and miracles break out in that prison. You see, in that moment, it wasn't the judgment of God that brought them to God. It was his kindness. In Romans 2:4, it says it's the kindness of God that leads us to repentance. You see, that's what I want to talk about today. Unfortunately, in much of the religious church or religious institutions, we portray a God who is angry, who's wrathful, who's full of judgment. You see, when judgment is operation, we often isolate people. We leave people feeling guilty, full of shame. We're leaving them feel like they're nothing. But that's not what Jesus intended. Jesus wanted to show a God who was full of unconditional love. And in that moment, he wanted to show that God was the kindest God that you could ever know. And out of his goodness and mercy, he would release that kindness to go the extra mile. You see, kindness goes out of its way to help people. It goes out of its way to serve people. It'll turn the other cheek, and it will journey with you no matter how difficult it would be. Because kindness is the expression of unconditional love. Jesus said this: bless those who curse you. You know, when we're judged, when we're condemned, we often feel this sense of everything is against us. But you see, what kindness does, it walks in the opposite spirit of judgment. It actually comes, and I like the word kin that comes out of the word kind. It treats you like family. Or the word kindred that comes out of the word kind, which creates community, creates a unity that joins hearts together, because that's what kindness does. Kindness is an incredible force that allows those who feel cursed to suddenly feel blessed. Because that's the heart of God. He wants to bless you. He wants to give you a hope. He wants to give you a future. And so this week, why don't you consider the kindness of God? If you are feeling attacked, or if you're feeling persecuted or rejected, rather than allow that to come into your heart, why don't you look to return the curse with blessing? Return the curse with kindness. Look to find ways to love another rather than to judge another. Because that's what love would do. And that is the God that Jesus wanted you to know. Not a God of wrath, but a God of kindness and a God of love. This is Steve Chua, hoping that your heart would be transformed so that you can transform the world.